What hot topics of the day always pop in. Teddy, we talked yesterday. Interesting basketball game going down in Texas, in San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge drops 56 points in a double overtime win. The home dogs get the call yesterday versus Oklahoma City.
Yeah, what a game. Double OT thriller. And obviously, monster numbers from a lot of guys. You know, Russell Westbrook with another triple-double in that ball game. But the difference maker, the Spurs didn't have a good shooting night from three-point range. They didn't have a great shooting night from three-point range. They had arguably the most epic night from three-point range you're ever going to see. 16 of 19 from beyond the arc. Bertans, Mills, and Bellinelli off the bench, 12 of 13 three-point shooting. When you're hitting better than 80% from beyond the arc, you better cover that point spread. Took them double OT to do it.
That was amazing. I mean, when you look at those three-point numbers, Teddy, it almost looks like, are you sure they're not from the free throw line and not from three-point range? So awesome. It just did a super impressive game down there for San Antonio pulling out the win. Folks, if you haven't done so yet, give us a follow at SBR Sports Picks on Twitter. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. As Teddy and I always say, each and every day, hit the subscribe button. You'll get that notification every single time we go live here with a new show, SBRodds.com. Catch all those latest odd movements. And Teddy, talking about odds moves yesterday, many people counting their money already on an Oregon winner late in that game, up by double digits, 17 points with under 10 minutes to go. Crazy finish in the last minute, Teddy. As we always like to say in this industry, do not count your money until that final clock says zero. Teddy, crazy game up in Eugene last night.
I mean, it really was. UCLA coming back from 9 points down in the final minute against Oregon, and then they beat the Ducks in OT. That doesn't happen a whole lot. Oregon, of course, was the favorite in that contest. They closed -3.5 at most books, and there was a little bit of refuse to lose for the Bruins in that. There was a little bit of Oregon screwing up, but it wasn't like the Ducks were missing a ton of free throws. UCLA just hit everything down the stretch. That was not a great result for the house. There was a fair bit of Bruins money, and according to ESPN stats and info, the 6th largest final minute comeback in Division I history. When you're 6th all time, that's a pretty good comeback. The Bruins now 3-0 under Murray Bartow.
Yeah, no, really good start under that. You know, looks like maybe get that coaching change to get these kids going into Pac-12 play. One of the more interesting plays you're going to see, Teddy, like an NFL game where you're just waiting for the onside kick, and it very rarely happens, even more less this year than in past histories, is the missed free throw when you're down 2. Because let's take a look at the point spread perspective again. If you're holding a ticket with Oregon -3, you're loving the fact that they're missing free throws on purpose. With time left, you get the rebound, they're going to foul, gives you the extra added chance, bounces perfectly, Teddy. UCLA lays it up and gets to overtime. Just a crushing blow. But we've all been there before as gamblers, right?
Well, there was I mean, for as bad as that was, I really think there was a worse one last night. Northeastern, -10 at Elon. The Huskies won that game by 11. In overtime! Oh, man, you got the points with Elon. You're like, yeah, we're good. We're going to OT. Yeah, OT is not good enough when you lose by 11 and you're fouling with 3 seconds left. That's tough. So, yeah, bad beat for Oregon, kind of. Worst beat if you got into the mid-majors last night. And they're out there just about every night in college hoops.
No, it's always interesting. We always like to say, you know, you can put it on your tombstone there, is the fact that when you go to overtime, that's where the dogs go to die. Those are some painful losses because you're just praying like, why can't they just win by 1, 2, or 3? Why can't it happen? You go to overtime. We've seen it time and time again. Switch it up, Teddy. Hot stove. It's cold on the East Coast, still warm on the West Coast, still waiting for some things to go through, but some backdoor maneuvering. We see this a lot, Teddy, in college football. You know, let me hire your high school coach in hopes that I get that big-time recruit. Now the Philadelphia Phillies employing the same exact MO out there, hiring Bobby Dickerson, who was a key influence for Manny Machado in Major League Baseball, to see if that's going to push him over the edge. But I love the rumor mill. How about if we pick up the phone and call Manny Machado's high school coach, Teddy, and ask him where he's going? We're working all the beats here on the hot stove, Teddy.
And frankly, it's worth doing. You know, if you're going to make a $250,000 commitment, or what's Machado going to make? You know, a $250 million commitment.
Yep.
What's he going to make? $300 million, $200 million, whatever he makes. Yeah, spend $100,000 and hire his high school coach. You know what I mean? Or $200,000, whatever it takes. It's pennies on the dollar for what, in theory, you're going to get with Manny Machado. All that being said, I'm telling you, the Machado signing will be a disaster for whatever team gets him. Whatever team gets him will be trying to dump him. I'll put the over under 2.5 years before he's on the trading block.
Yeah, I mean, look at all that money you're spending around. Let's just say Manny Machado or Bryce Harper goes for $30 or $35 million a year, what their asking price is. You can get 3 players at $10 million a year and sort of shuffle around when we're seeing, some of those buy lower options there. Jed Lowry to the Mets, 2 years, $20 million. Brian Dozier to the Nats, I believe a 1-year deal, $8 million. There's always going to be that philosophy, but sometimes these owners want to make that splash, get these guys in camp, help ticket sales, help TV ratings. I understand that all goes into it, but when are we going to put it end, Teddy? We're betting guys, right? When is Manny Machado, Bryce Harper watch going to end? Is it going to end before the Super Bowl or the day after the Super Bowl where they can get their shine? Or, who's going to come in to Major League Baseball pitchers and catchers and make their one? Where do you put this at, Teddy? Is it coming to a conclusion sooner? Could we see this even drag in the spring training?
That's an interesting question, and it's not one that I thought about before I went on air. So I'm going to put an over-under. Let's think about it for a minute because I haven't done a ton of research. Let's put an over-under. Is it for one guy or both guys?
I'm going to say both guys because I think it's almost like a domino.
For both
effect
guys to be signed, I'll say after Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday sounds to me like a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could just break it in and make it after it. You want the headlines to yourself. All these guys, the owners, they want to make the big splashes. The agents want to make the big splashes. Take the picture with the big check up there. I can hear you on that and certainly back you up there.